3 rounds down, just 1 to go here in the Canadian F1200 Championship Series. My name's Robert Hill Jr. Joining me tonight in the booth, as always, is Daniel Zippy Salmon. And Zippy, we're about to pick up where we've left off the last couple of weeks here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. And so far in the series, it has pretty much all been the Brandon Hawkins show. Tonight, does anyone have anything for him? And how excited do you think he'll be when he clinches that title?
I honestly think Brandon is going to be over the moon. Like, every time we speak to the guy, he is purely pumped. Like, you know, like the amount of energy and adrenaline he has, if I could take that to my day job, you know, I think my bosses would be absolutely thrilled with me. I mean, at the minute, I do bring a similar kind of energy. It just tends to be quite irritating. So, you know, like, he's definitely got something that I don't. But I think the biggest battles tonight are going to be for the second and third positions, because there is, and we will announce it a little bit later about the final prize package details. But second and third is up for grabs, and we've got a few people in the mix. We'll get into the standings very shortly. Let's take a little bit of a look here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Yeah, let's take a little bit of a fly in here to Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada, the site of the Canadian F1200 Championship Series. This 10-turn course is going to have a lot of high pace, high intensity action all night long, Zippy. And why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the challenges these drivers will face tonight that we've seen throughout this series?
So straight away, my first biggest challenge these guys are going to have is actually keeping the car on the track. Like, these guys, you know, normally you see people going 2 wide, maybe 3 wide. These guys, sometimes, you know what, they'll go 4 wide. You know, we've seen it happen, and certainly going along the Andretti straightaway. But absolutely, like, you know, biggest priority to win the race, you've got to finish the race. And then after you take that into account, the next thing I'd say is keeping an eye on that draft. And not only that, trying to focus about, you know, all right, you want to move up the field, but, like, you know, time the pass. You know, don't necessarily take it in one corner, because by doing that and forcing that pass, you could potentially drop off the pack ahead of you. You know, you've really got to play it smart. You know, think tactically, not just driving purely in the moment.
You're exactly right. And Zippy, let's take a look at the starting grid here tonight. We're going to be 11 cars deep with our championship leader currently looking like he's going to start the tail of the field in position number 10, but it'll be Josh Peters and George Griffiths on the front row with Alu Gobi and Keith Stein in row number 2, Kyle Mayer, Joe Nagy in row 3, Doug Meadows, Christopher Chung in row 4, the boss man Eugene Cartini alongside the championship leader Brandon Hockin in row 5, and Zencar going to round out the field as we get set to go green here in the first of 3 sprint races here tonight.
Oh, it's going to be a absolute belter, and so far everything is looking clean so far. I don't want to put the commentator's curse on it, but so far, you know what, I'm not on anybody's hit list. You can already see a couple of them going too wide. Generally, they're going to try and single it out as fast as they can. Certainly, you know, try and get into a little bit of a slipstream. But another thing to factor in as well, you've just done qualifying on hot tires. These tires are now cold, and you can see here, very clean so far. I think everybody so far getting around. I'm seeing no red flags on the timing screen.
Yeah, nothing as of yet. Everyone's able to stay A-okay. We're going to obviously have to keep our eyes on a couple drivers tonight as we see a battle starting to pick up here for that second position. And folks, you're going to see some smoke off the back of these cars. That is completely normal. It is not engine damage. As I thought in race number 1, I thought someone was blowing up, but they were not. That is completely normal here in these Formula V cars that we utilize in the Canadian F1200 championship. But Zippy, let's just quickly touch on it here as the drivers work their way around the circuit. The point standings entering tonight, Brandon Hockin just needed to start to win this title with Josh Peters just ahead of Kyle Mayer, George Griffiths right there as well, and Zencar. All pretty much the whole field has an opportunity to potentially work their way up into second or third in points. Just going to have a bit of swindling of those points throughout the evening, but we'll keep an eye on that throughout. And of course, we will talk about the prize packages a little bit later on. Zippy, maybe if you have a little bit more information on those that you can share with our fine viewers here at home.
Yeah, we certainly can. I'm probably going to get into that a little bit more in the break at the minute.
Absolutely.
These guys are they're battling for it. And you know what? That prize pack, I'm going to kind of save that for the end because, you know, it is something I really want to get in depth.
Let's do it.
We'll do it near the end, but at the minute, I was seeing Alu Gobi having a brilliant exit on lap 1 from Moss Corner, but actually not going for the pass. You know, they've actually dropped back from 3rd all the way back. Well, I say all the way 2 places back to 5th as I go and slap my phone off my desk. Well done. At the minute, Hawkin as well, he's started in 10th and he's only there in 9th. So it just goes to show that, you know, maybe qualifying pace was what was keeping him in the game as he stays there in 9th, 8th, 9th, you know. Currently flicking around in the rear end of the field. Yeah,
Brandon Hockin, he told us last round that he wanted to go for a little bit of a last to first challenge, which, you know, there's always going to be mixed reviews about something like that, Zippy, as I know, and you know as well. It's going to be taken differently from certain drivers in the field, and, you know, they might race him a little bit harder knowing that he is trying to do this challenge here today. So we'll see what Brandon Hockin can do. He's currently up 2 spots from his starting position, and this field's kind of broken off into 2 little groups here. We're going to jump up to the chopper cam real quick. You can see the top 5 altogether is Josh Peters, Keith Stein, Kyle Mayer, Alu Gobi, and George Griffiths in group number 1, as Stein made a big dive there trying to get by Peters, not able to do it. And then group number 2, as they go side by side for 3rd at the top of the screen, is going to be Joe Nagy, Brandon Hockin, Christopher Chung, Zencar, Eugene Cartini, and Doug Meadows, as Cartini and Meadows go side by side. We're side by side up here as Kyle Mayer going to clear ahead of Alu Gobi. Gobi holds on to position number 4, just back 1 spot from their starting position as these drivers they're trying to see what they can do to get those good positions here today. Obviously, we mentioned the close points battles all throughout, so every point does matter here this afternoon as Eugene Cartini goes around. Oh, no.
Well, on the upside of this scenario, at least that man, he is already guaranteed a drive in an F1200 because he owns one. He's going to be putting
He
his
owns
car up
the
for
one.
exactly, the one that these guys only be getting to drive. But I do believe there is going to be another couple of cars from the F1200 Association there and available. And not only that, if anybody else does actually want to, get involved and, have a test session in these, it is publicly available. We'll get more details on that later. Right now, 2 wide, 3 wide. That is some hot action. It's a hot topic. And you can see here, 3 abreast. Absolutely going for it. I'm trying to work out who it is. I believe Josh Peters, Kyle Maher, and is that Alu Gobi as well?
Keith Stein up there. Yeah, Alu Gobi up here in the battle up towards the front. Alu Gobi to second. Keith Stein out front. Stein in the 84 machine currently leading the way ahead of Alu Gobi, but Gobi looking extremely strong here. Is Gobi going to make a move on drivers right? Are they going to be able to make this move into turn number 1? Yes, a clear pass there for Alu Gobi. Move them out to the race lead. And Zippy, obviously, earlier in the season, we saw Alu Gobi show up, and it was just kind of out of nowhere. Not a lot of people knew too much about this driver, but they were very, very strong. The luck just has not been on Alu Gobi's side so far in the series.
Definitely, talent behind the wheel. And what was that show recently where our CEO and director, Mr. Ryan Barrett, he went, I think it was PRL is the show I'm thinking of. I can't remember what it stands for.
PRI. I think it's the performance racing industry or something like that. The PRI show anyways.
My apologies to anybody who we may have offended by not getting that correct, but we were not classy enough to be invited, so we'll leave it at that.
We didn't get the invite.
I do believe Alu Gobi actually competed in an event there in person and had decent success as well. From what a little bit of background that
this is tight here, Zippy.
Oh, yeah, no, that can wait. We got 3
4
wide, 4 wide. Come on, I want 5 wide. Send it, guys.
Let's use the grass. We got lots of it here. Come on now. Oh, that is tight.
I really want to see if I can get 5. You know what? This isn't a race right now. This is formation driving.
This is something. That's Gobi up there towards the top of the screen on the right side now leading it. Josh Peters, I believe, is that blue car on the left side of your screen. That's Kyle Maher. Oh, no. Kyle Maher was having a great run up there. You know what the luxury, though, of this is, Zippy? There's still 2 more races tonight.
Yeah, but
Eugene going to get into the play here.
The downside of this is if you suffer in the first race, your position from race 1 is your starting position for race 2 and then into race 3. There is no forgiveness in this series, and that I thought they were going wide just then. That blue car definitely hanging it out a little bit, but Brandon Hawkin, he's currently up to 4th place. Now, don't get me wrong, this young lad has got talent, but I'm kind of rooting for the underdog at this point. I mean, they're not to say that Gobi's an underdog, but definitely not had the best of luck. And I think one of my favorite moments seeing them in the F1200 series was then they're a lapped car and like sending it on the grass to try and take the pass. Like the sheer, not like necessarily aggression, but sheer determination to have a battle in the field. It's probably one of my favorite drivers in the series.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was quite a moment a couple rounds ago. I believe that was round number 2 where we were 3-4. Oh, I believe that's Chung around. Yes, it is. Christopher Chung going to be hard into the wall there in that 55 car. Heartbreak for Chung as everybody else has pretty much gotten together here. Josh Peters nearly forced off the racetrack as Brandon Hawkin going to go side by side with Keith Stein for second.
Well, the good thing is right now, Alu Gobi just has to keep it on the track at 1.2, 1.3 seconds. I'm wondering just how far back that draft goes. Certainly, it'll be a little bit noticeable, but not that far. As we take a quick look at the replay here, let's see what's gone on. Now, you can see there Chang there, and okay, that wasn't that cool. A little bit of aggression, maybe a little bit of net code there. I'm not too sure. Robert, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of aggression involved in that one that just came into play as for some reason now, of course, our screen has locked up a little bit, but Alu Gobi continues to lead behind this big old logo.
We definitely got to make sure we get the branding out there, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we're keen to promote that gap of 1.2 expanded a little bit to 1.3 seconds, as there is another battle going on for third, hang on a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all
Everybody.
about a tenth of a second. Everybody needs somebody. Sorry, a little bit of the Blues Brothers there, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize, and having a little bit of a camera technical hiccup right now. The buttons are being mashed, and there you go. We're back. Absolutely rampant action. I think I broke the stream. I apologize. You know, I'm definitely not going on Broadway, and if I do, I want it for breakfast. It's a restaurant in Ottawa. The home fries, absolutely fantastic. Robert, please save me from this trouble.
You're absolutely right about Broadway's. I was there a couple weeks ago having a paint night, and it was phenomenal, my friend. They have some great burgers and phenomenal home fries, but the action here is also phenomenal. As Brandon Hawken and Keith Stein duke it out for position number 2. Hawken in the second spot. Here comes Zen Carr, another driver that we've really kind of, I don't want to say fallen in love with, because that just sounds weird, but we've grown to really enjoy their presence on the racetrack here. Zen Carr, one of those drivers that has had the opportunity to contend at the front with Brandon Hawken, has been in those 3, 4, 5 car wide moves on the racetrack, and not really afraid to push it to the limit to do what they need to do to get up there. So watch for Zen Carr to be very strong here today. And Zippy, like you alluded to earlier, the finish of race number 1 will set the grid for race 2. The same will happen from race 2 for race 3, but between races 2 and 3, we will have a brief intermission, allow the drivers to step away for a moment, have a bathroom break, and then come back for some more action here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Absolutely, and certainly as well, I remember Zen Carr, one of the highlight moments for me was where he literally crossed the line, neck and neck with
Absolutely.
Brandon Hawken. Absolutely phenomenal race. But right now, who we got eyes on that is
Joe Nagy and Josh Peters.
Nagy. And who's that?
George Griffiths in there as well.
George Griffiths, another person to watch out for as well. Definitely got pace. They were involved
Fourth
in
in
that
points
incident earlier. Yeah, they were involved in that incident earlier as well. That was it did seem a little bit too aggressive, maybe a little bit net code as well. But you know, they do have a protest system in the F1200 series, but it's not something that we ever really want to see used. Generally, it's pretty clean and pretty respectful, and most drivers, I say most drivers, are able to sort it out independently. But I'm keeping an eye on a timing screen right now there, Robert, and Alu Gobi had that 1.3 second gap and is actually managing to maintain that as well. So this adds another interesting dynamic to this race. There's only about 3 minutes left to go. Now, Brandon Hawken, we know he has pace. He's definitely a quick lad, but, you know, has he got enough pace that he can catch up on Gobi? And then not only that, he is going to drag another 4, 5 cars with him. The question is, will it happen before the end of race 1?
The tough thing, Zippy, will be obviously not just catching Alu Gobi, but making the pass on Alu Gobi. It's not that simple, especially when the driver, of course, you look at the standings, Gobi up there just outside the top 5, not necessarily in contention for a podium spot. Is Zen Carr going to go through the grass? And Zen's going to break the car there and head back to pit lane. So Zen Carr, unfortunate damage there, gonna have to take it back to the pits. Let's take a brief gander here and see what happened to Zen Carr at the top of this 3-car battle here. Ooh, I believe, yeah, that was Doug Meadows that just came across into Zen Carr, leading to a bit of drama there in the field.
Yeah, I would have hoped they'd have left a little bit more space on that one, you know. But I mean, I get it, you know, things happen very quickly, but I'm sure the spotter would have been flagging that one.
You would definitely think so, as I believe the white flag should be displayed this time. Yes, Barney the flagman with that white flag in hand for Alu Gobi. And one thing to point out here, of course, you have the lap car Christopher Chung just ahead of the race leader, Alu Gobi, but Brandon Hawken here in position number 2 has won every single race so far in the series, not just one race per round. He has won every single event that we've run so far. If Alu Gobi's able to get it done, that'll break up that 100% win streak there for Hawken.
Well, honestly, I mean, nothing against Brandon, but I am 100% rooting for Alu Gobi in this case, you know.
For sure.
I'm always going to cheer on the underdog, and it's a bit like Formula One as well, you know. Max Verstappen, he's a great driver, he's got a quick car, and he just cleans up, but it's actually at the point now where, you know, it's not that interesting. Now, don't get me wrong, when Verstappen and Hamilton were having that battle for the championship, the one that was, you know, kind of given to Verstappen, you know, whole other chain of arguments available there on request.
Cue the chat lighting up.
Yeah, I can see the fire emerging, not for the first time this week either, you know, just flames surrounding me at this point. But, yeah, you know, it's a whole other dynamic. But you know what? I'm rooting for Alu Gobi. But as I say that, Brandon Hawken has taken the lead. What happened there? That gap closed down so suddenly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what actually just happened there. Let's go above and just watch this battle to the line. You could see that's Brandon Hawken. Oh, contact! Gobi into Hawken, but it's going to be Brandon Hawken that's going to win this one. Once again, the 99 machine of Brandon Hawken goes out and gets it done after late race contact with Alu Gobi. Gobi going to be second. Peters in third with Stein fourth. Griffiths fifth. Meadows, Nagy, Mayer, Carr, Chung, and Cartini going to round out race number 1 here, Zippy.
Oh, it was so close. They only needed to hold on for just that little bit more. Just that little bit more. One more lap, you know. Ah.
It was close, but unfortunately, no cigar there for the rest of the field. Let's see if Hawken maybe opts to start the rear of this one as well.
Well, if he grids up, he's going to be unable to do that. So the only thing I can think of is if he does a pit lane start.
That'd be tough. That would definitely be tough as we just wait for race number 1 to officially wrap up here. Let's see if we can just get quick results up on the screen. Doesn't look like it as of yet, as the race is not quite official, with Zen Carr and Christopher Chung wrapping up their respective laps on the circuit.
And Christopher Chung rocking the paint job there. That to anybody who's probably more likely played Gran Turismo, I mean, I could relate. This is where I know it from. Or if they're a fan of like classic, I believe it's the classic Le Mans, but the paint job inspired by the Mazda 787B, which was a 4-rotor Le Mans car, and that thing sounded absolutely mentally nuts, and like steak, cheeseburgers. Think of all pleasure endorphin inducing words. Like that's what that car sounded like.
That's a great way to describe it as the field hits the racing circuit, getting ready for event number 2 of the evening here. Let's take a look at the starting grid for this one. It's going to be Brandon Hawken and Alu Gobi slated to start on the front row. They have not hit it yet, so we'll see shortly if they opt to do so. Josh Peters, Keith Stein in row number 2. Then it'll be George Griffiths and Doug Meadows in row number 3. Joe Nagy, Kyle Mayer in row 4. Zen Carr, Christopher Chung round out the top 10 with Eugene Cartini gonna start at the tail, and look who's made his way to the circuit. It's gonna be Brandon Hawken.
It'll definitely be interesting as well. You know, there's people there who are definitely going to want to get that top step. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, Brandon, he's got it in the bag at this point. We know that, you know that, and I think the guys on the track probably definitely know that as well. But, you know, there's still a lot to play for, and then not only that, you know it's 100 points for a win. And you definitely very motivated to go and get that. So, you know, it's not the battle for first that we know we're going to focus on right now. Second and third, that's where going to be. That's where the action's going to be.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The battles throughout the field is what we're going to have to keep our eyes on for those points. Again, we're watching the battles between Peters, Mayer, Griffiths. Those guys all have a possibility for second place. Really, it's going to be a stretch for anyone else. Zen Carr, Keith Wilford not here. Alu Gobi up there. Another driver going to have an opportunity, but let's go green flag racing for the second time this evening. Another 15 lap sprint coming up, and that's Zen Carr.
Oh my God. As you were saying, you know, about the standings, I was looking at that thinking, you know what, he could potentially have maybe made it on the third. You know, he would have really needed some good luck, but it has definitely not gone his way as he gets wrapped around before turn one. Absolutely not the way you want to start a race. And somebody else is spinning in the background. It's Martini. Cold tires, Eugene. Cold tires, buddy. It's not going to drive the same.
Come on, Eugene.
Easily done. Easily done. Sir.
Race number 3 is Eugene's tonight, Zippy.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think we should introduce a penalty for the rest of the grid and let him, you know.
Everyone else start on pit road.
That'll do it. Let him get a lap ahead.
As the battle's on out here, it's Brandon Hawken, Alu Gobi, and Josh Peters as Gobi goes off the racetrack. I believe Hawken got a little bit of the grass as well. The Canadian Tire Motorsport Park needed some landscaping.
Yeah, I was going to say the lawnmower brigade was definitely on for it on that. Moss Corner being slowly extended with the erosion of the F1200 field. But as you can see here, we got 2 wide. Can we go 3 wide? Oh, they're going to go 5 wide. I'm looking at it on my other screen.
Oh, no!
No!
Griffiths and Meadows!
Oh, dear.
Griffiths, Meadows, Nagy, Chung. Who else got involved in it? We're down to 5 cars not wrecked.
Can I get a cleanup on aisle 5? Cleanup on aisle 5, F1200 spill.
Let's go back and watch this one. Hopefully it doesn't lock up on us, but you see it start up ahead between Meadows and Griffiths. How does Chung get involved in this? Oh, no. Wow. Unfortunately for him, I believe that was Meadows that comes across the racetrack and just picks him up here. For some reason, this go live button doesn't like me today.
I don't think it's your number 1 fan, but it's okay, Robert. I'm your number 1 fan.
Oh, thanks. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We'll get that sorted during the break a little bit later. Whoa. Hawkins fall into 3rd. Hello. Welcome to the lead, Josh Peters and Keith Stein.
Hello, boy.
So we're going to go side by side, Stein and Peters.
You see, I'm finding the Alu Gobi and keeping an eye on them. They are getting absolutely incredible exit speed. You can see there that gap on Hawken, pretty much holding it consistent, but the draft is going to be a big help now. Now, as much fun as these guys have going 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide, it doesn't appear to be working out that well for them, and yet I think they're going to keep doing it anyway, which I'm very much all right with. Certainly, you know, top 5 is pretty much on the cards if you can keep it clean for anybody in the top 5 group, but it almost has like a NASCAR-style vibe at the minute where, you know, everybody's running tight, close together, and while these guys aren't intentionally bump drafting, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens on the odd moment. It really is the luck of the draw. You know, will you survive, and will you get that checkered flag with your name on it?
That's definitely the goal. Is Keith Stein going to take a deep dive there through the final corner? Let's go 3 wide on the front straight. Why not? Let's see who wins this one out. Down into the corner on the right side, there's Peters. Up ahead is Hawken. Stein and Peters were side by side right there. Peters goes up to 2nd, chasing down the Brandon Hawken machine. We'll see what these drivers can do. They have Alu Gobi and Kyle Mayer trailing them currently. Just a quick gander back. The gap between Mayer and Zen Carr, it's pretty substantial right there. Not even close. 13 seconds just about separating 5th and 6th on the racetrack.
I'm actually keeping a real close eye on Gobi, and not just because I'm cheering him on, but if you watch the lines as well and the exit speed, you know, they're definitely, I almost feel like they're getting held up at this point, you know, but being able to drive a quick lap is one thing, racecraft is another, and you can just see here, like, there's a little bit of accordion action going on, but generally the exit speed tends to be very good. It's just hard to get that car in a position where you can attack and then not just get alongside, but maintain it, because as soon as you step out and try and make a pass in a scenario like this, where you've lost the draft and the car basically just slows down. You know, if the guy you're passing has the draft, good luck getting past. But here is another tactic you can do. You can almost try and box them in, you know, close that gap and give them nowhere else to go other than basically swinging it all the way around to the outside and good demonstration here. Gobi's had a good run, but I don't think they're going to be able to make it stick.
Yeah, as we go side by side once again, Brandon Hawken on the right side of your screen. Just beside him is Keith Stein. Alu Gobi there trailing in position number 3 with Peters and Mayer still following suit. Is Gobi going to take a dive to driver's right there of Keith Stein? Now gets in the slipstream of Brandon Hawken. Going to take a look left. Now cuts back right as Josh Peters going to come on scene there. Nearly a bit of contact there between Peters and Stein as the battle does continue for the race lead. It's Hawken, it's Gobi, and it's go time.
Actually, the more I think about it, Kyle Maher, he didn't have the best luck in race 1, but I'm actually thinking he's very intentionally holding back at this point. You know, he can see all the close-knit action going ahead, and I don't think he's ruled out that an accident may occur. And if that occurs, he is definitely wanting to be in the favorite. And actually, the 84 car there of Keith Stein, that actually appears to be a really cool helmet, I believe. It almost looks a little bit like Venom style. Maybe we can get a shot up of that a little bit later today. There you go. Kinda.
It's later
a little
today.
Bit like Venom. That is Venom, isn't it, actually?
I believe it is. That's a pretty cool helmet.
Good call as well. I'll take that action.
Nice job, nice job. Side by side here, it's Venom and Gobi, Stein and Gobi on the racetrack. Peters Mayer still holding back. And, you know, Kyle Mayer might have one of the best seats in the house right now.
I definitely think he's playing it smart. 100%.
Watching the action up ahead, you can see how tight it is. You mentioned the potential for incidents on the racetrack. That is 100% in play here. You never know what could happen as we ride on the nose camera here of Kyle Mayer. They are getting so tight up ahead as Josh Peters going to deal with a little bit of a blink on the racetrack.
Yeah, connection issues can be incredibly scary when you are that close in a field, but I definitely think Maher is holding back. Peters, on the other hand, he may have a similar style technique at this point, but he can't relax too much because Kyle Maher also, you know, he's right behind him, and it's not like he's got a big gap, but Gobi generally is not one to sit back. Gobi's one to keep going, and certainly having a wicked battle at the minute with Keith Stein in the 84.
Yeah, some incredible battles here for second and third as well as fourth and fifth. But as this goes on, somebody just went deep off the racetrack. There it's Gobi. Gobi going to disappear into the grass once again. Going to have a lot of work now to gather it back up and get back into this action as Mayer and Peters now hold on to positions 3 and 4. While Gobi just said, I'm going to come through no matter what. Let me just step on that gas pedal. I'm going on by.
That was an absolutely fantastic pass. Just straight in on the inside of Moss. I mean, that's a scary corner to get through on a good day with, you know, where you got the elevation change and the way that you can feel the weight of the car move around. I mean, you're trying to brake as all of the weight is moving with the elevation and the incline and stuff like that. It's hard to get around there clean on a good day. Gobi just goes, nah, hold my beer, watch this, straight through.
Maybe Gobi's a wine person, Zippy. You never know. But definitely, yeah. I love how you said tequila, and that song immediately popped into my head as well. So we've been working together too much here on this series as we watch a battle up front here. Actually, this is second. It's Keith Stein. Josh Peters going to be wheel to wheel. Gobi going to be right there as well as Kyle Mayer just behind. Back to the comfort zone for Kyle Mayer, acting as a bit of a safety net, but that net starting to pounce a little bit here, trying to get up into this action as Kyle Mayer works his way up to third. Stein going to clear ahead to second as it's going to be side by side between Peters and Gobi. Peters moves up to fourth, Gobi back to fifth as Brandon Hawken is catching some lap traffic here. You can see it right ahead of him on the racetrack. That is Joe Nagy. Nagy involved in one of the earlier incidents, going to come into play here. And for Brandon Hawken, he's hoping that he can make quick work of that 777 of Joe Nagy as Nagy makes quick work and nearly comes back on the track in front of Hawken.
It could have been a murder on the dance floor as Joe Nagy has that little bit of a wiggle there, but oh dear, I think the lap traffic at this point is only going to help Hawken pull away. I mean, just with that little bit of draft there, he extended the gap like an extra 6-7 tenths of a second. But
over 2 seconds now.
Yeah, he's long, he's clear, and all he's got to do is keep it on the track at this point. This freeway, four-way battle even between Stein, Maher, Gobi, and Peters. Now, that is the best action happening on the track right now. Obviously, with the chaos, panic, and disorder that ensued earlier, you know, the guys may have spread out a little bit, and understandably so. But in this case, you have less than 2 tenths per second, 3 tenths per second, separating all 4 cars, ladies and gentlemen.
There's Gobi back on it. Another deep dive from that one car. Now gonna look to make it side by side with Keith Stein potentially here into turn number 1. Backs off it a little bit. Never mind. Let's take a little bit of a peek to the right side, maybe a look to the left, as Gobi wants that spot, gonna do whatever it takes to get there. Kyle Mayer gonna come into the picture as well. He wants to gain those positions, see what he can do to get a couple more points on his competitors, as we are 4 minutes remaining. That should equate to about 2 laps to go when they come to the line this time, Zippy. So it is getting down to the nitty gritty here, as you see Stein right there just ahead of Gobi and Mayer. It's Hawken way out front now, 3 seconds. He's gained a second since last time by, and these drivers still have to work their way around Joe Nagy here momentarily. So for Brandon Hawken, he's on cruise control at this point.
Yeah, the autopilot has been engaged. Please put your trays in the upright position and fasten your seatbelts, because the action is all happening between 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And obviously, Joe Nagy is going to be getting in on that little dance as well. But you can see here, this is exactly what I'm on about. This is absolutely brilliant race technique. You can see the car on the right, second at the back, just trying to get past, and they've got absolutely nowhere to go because they basically blocked off the passing lane. You know, if you want to go by, you're going to have to go all the way around the edge, and it is great to see somebody actually doing a technique which I suggested.
Oh, contact. Gobi gonna get sent into the wall. Contact there with Keith Stein. Actually, no, I believe that was Kyle Mayer that made contact with Gobi, sending Gobi off towards the tire barrier. Gonna be able to gather it back up. Let's go side by side. That's Peters on the right side, Stein on the left. Gonna look for a crossover. Stein gonna come to the right side now, zigging and zagging as we battle for position number 2 with the blinking Josh Peters.
Oh, the way you were describing that then, Robert, is like, in the red corner we have, and that's basically what this has become. It is a boxing match in these F1200 cars. In one corner we've got Stein, in another we got Maher. Gobi has currently been knocked out of the ring.
They are roughing each other up.
Yeah, Peters is trying to run away, but Hawken at the minute, he's just, you know, shaking hands with the referee and collecting his winnings almost at this point. But the guys over here, 3 cars left in the 4-car battle that once was. Gobi, though, are they going to be able to catch up? Honestly, in the time frame, 2 minutes to go and 2.3 seconds.
It's going to be hard.
Damaged car. I'd say the odds are not in her favor.
Definitely not in her favor at this point, but what is in favor right now is the continuation of this battle. It's going to be Josh Peters losing a couple spots here to Kyle Mayer and Keith Stein, as Brandon Hawken going to work his way through the final corners here. He's going to face the white flag this time by. Barney the flagman has it rolled up. It's in his hand, and he is getting ready to wave it once again for Brandon Hawken. I wonder if Hawken gives him a share of the winnings at this point, as he continues to just absolutely be the dominant force in this Canadian F1200 championship. Stein, Mayer back at it again. It's Kyle Mayer on the right side here, as Keith Stein going to fall back to 3rd. Peters going to try to climb back into it, as Gobi just a little bit too far back, putting everything into this one. But this battle is going to be the one to watch as we come down the line here.
Oh, it's been an absolutely fantastic battle so far. Last lap. I'm hoping these guys can keep it clean all the way to the checkered, but I think the race 3, I've got a feeling the gloves are going to be coming off, and it is going to be a bare knuckle fist fight.
You got to think, for some of these drivers, this could be the last time in the final race coming up that they share the track together in a league setting. Hopefully we get them to return if another season happens or a different car combination happens in the near future. But for them, it's going to be no love lost. Let's just give it our all, see what we can do, and try to sneak out a victory. As you see right there, Kyle Mayer going to look for a move on Keith Stein. Here he comes up the left side, going to move up to position number 2 as Hawken going to work his way towards the start-finish line once again. He's about to face it. The checkered flag about to come out here for Brandon Hawken.
And he remains undefeated, but right now this is the battle to watch. It's all going to be about the exit of this last turn, and you can see here Matt has got a wicked undercut, but Joshua Peters, he's going up the inside. Are they going to go 3 wide? Oh, almost.
What a battle to the line. It's Keith Stein getting the spot over Kyle Mayer, Josh Peters, Alu Gobi. Zen Carr going to come around, rebound from a miserable start to finish 6th. Eugene Cartini going to come across the line. He's going to bring it home 7th here to round out race number 2 of the championship round. George Griffiths going to be scored in that 8th spot as he works his way through the final corners of the evening. Still to cross Doug Meadows and Joe Nagy, as well as Christopher Chung. Those drivers did run into some issues a little bit earlier on. Actually, Chung has crossed, Nagy has crossed as well, so it's all down to Doug Meadows as he's going to work his way towards the start-finish line for the final time. And after that, we will step away and take a quick break. We might have a shot to catch up with Eugene Cartini when we return from our ad break as well. Maybe have a brief discussion about the prize package up for grab for these drivers. As Doug Meadows comes across, we're going to take it to a commercial, and we'll be right back here on Podium Esports. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
It's definitely been a fun 2 races so far as the final round with the final race. The first place prize has already pretty much in the bag, Brandon Hawken. I don't think mathematically is possible at this point. But the good news is second, third are available. So as we have a quick look, where we're at, obviously we're at CTMP. Let's talk a little bit about the prize package that we were getting into a little bit earlier. So the Canadian Formula 1200, F1200 eSports Championship. First, second, third place is the prize. It is free 20-minute sessions in a real car. And I don't mean like just, you're driving some delivery vehicle from Domino's. I mean, that would be pretty fun. Nothing drives like a rental car, but it's a legitimate F1200. The winner gets free entry and a free F1200 race car rental. Second place, subsidized. They get $250. And then third place, sorry, am I reading this correctly? And then third place, it's the way it's written, it's so $250.
Blame Eugene.
You see what I'm saying? They get $250 off, or is it cost them $250? I think
it cost them $250.
It cost them $250 for second place, and in third place, $350, and then fourth place, or anybody down, if you're in the leagues, seriously, $500. And honestly, that is a pretty smoking deal. Like, I've taken my car to the track, and just in tires, if you really get rather spirited, you could probably do that in tires alone. The 1200 very kind on tires, as we know. But you know what? Bang for buck to get a legitimate race car experience at Toronto Motorsports Park, that is a absolutely smoking deal.
Well,
honestly.
And what we heard, sorry to cut you off there, Zippy, what we heard from Eugene was his test days typically cost about $1,000. So for these guys, if you're going to have an opportunity to take part in a test day, say you're the second place person, you're doing it for a quarter of the cost. Third place, just a little bit over that, and anyone else, half the price. That is a great deal and a really nice offering from the F1200 Drivers Association.
Oh, absolutely as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some people are like in the karts or just doing a track day, but on a track day, like with your own car and stuff, it's not necessarily, I mean, I don't know what you drive, but, if you're just driving your normal city car, commuter car, whichever, don't get me wrong. I mean, this is a racing series. We're car people. It's okay. You're in a safe space. You can admit that. And, it might not necessarily, be set up and, ready for the track. Well, this is not just that. This thing has been designed to race. It is set up to race, and it is prepared to race. All it needs is a driver. And then not only that, if you get into this, you get the bug. You know what? Go racing. Go join these guys on the track. I mean, it sounds like an absolutely fantastic opportunity, but not only that, a fantastic community as well. I mean, I honestly wish I was closer at this point, because for me, while it's fun having great hobbies and getting into stuff, for me, that's not enough. It's the people that I do it with that, really elevate it to the next level.
You're exactly right. Racing is a really tight community, and from what we've been told and what we've really gathered over the last couple of months here with this F1200 championship is that Drivers Association is more like a brotherhood or a family than just guys showing up to race and compete every week. So any opportunity for you as a driver to get involved with that is really special and should be something that you do explore if you have the ability to do so, if you're a driver that does finish fourth on down in the league, or of course those second and third place drivers as well. Take this opportunity. Any opportunity to get into a race car is a phenomenal one. But Zippy, we are gritting now for the final race of the season.
What do you reckon?
That is definitely a good question. How many cars will go out on the first lap? But it is Brandon Hocken and Keith Stein on the front row again. We'll keep an eye on this throughout, and man, it's going to be tough. We've seen some attrition early on in these races here tonight. Will they be able to keep it clean? Will we make it the whole race with the entire field on the lead lap? We got some big movers already. Eugene up to second.
Contact. Oh, no, I'm seeing a spinner right at the back. There was a little bit of weird...
Kyle Mayer!
Damn! He is not going to be happy. The Teddies will be out the pram. Christopher Chung dropping back in the field as well. But as I look closer up the field, it looks like they've gone into single...
Eugene! Did you see the jump that he got, Zippy?
I'm just trying to work out. He's in second place right now.
We got to watch the replay of Eugene's start.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
You got to see it to believe it.
Look at
that.
He started at the back. Watch this. Watch Eugene. A madman up through the middle. Maybe an illegal restart there for Eugene, but
he's the one who went to give a little nudge. But you know what? I'm not going to argue with him. He's paying us to do the broadcast. That was a completely clean move, sir.
Eugene Cartini up here in the top 3. What a drive by the madman, Eugene Cartini. Let's go 3 wide.
Do you reckon we should just drag him in at the booth just to, we'll interview him while he's in the race? It might be off-putting. Well, we'll give him a few minutes and then we'll wrap him.
Maybe not when he's looking to go 3 wide.
Even better. Yeah, Eugene, okay, yep, just, keep it there. We'll guide him mid-race.
Oh, tight right there.
Nudge.
Keith Stein, Zen Carr coming together. Now it's Griffiths and Carr. Eugene falling back here. Giving all those spots back. He heard us. He heard me, not you, when you said that he did a great job. He heard me when I said an illegal move, and now he's taking himself out of it.
That we call sportsmanship. Who's going in the pits now?
That is Kyle Mayer, involved early on. Heavy damage on board that machine, but out front it's Brandon Hockin. You knew he'd be out front.
He did, but you know what? I'm going to focus my energies on the guys that still have something to fight for at this point. I'm
Absolutely.
thinking, Alu Gobi, I'm sorry, but I think you're out of it. So who does it come down to? Let me have a quick look at the points. I know Joshua Peters. Oh, thank you very much.
There you go.
Joshua Peters is in it. Carl Maher. Maybe. George Griffiths. Zenkar, I think, could potentially do something, but I highly doubt it. He's not had good luck in the
Carr
first 2
could
races.
still move up potentially to 3rd in the points here. I know Griffiths has been actually pretty consistent here. Race 2 didn't go too well. Finished 8th. Kyle Mayer's run into a couple of issues tonight, so maybe a solid finisher from Zen Carr could lead to a finish in that top 3. As we're going to go side by side for the lead here, Zippy, it's Keith Stein and Brandon Hockin.
Actually, as I look at the results, Stein has actually had an incredible run. Where is he in the points? Because at the minute, he's just been collecting second places. Let me have a quick peek here.
Keith Stein? I want to say Keith Stein is the one listed as Keith Wilfred on the results here. I believe Wilfred might be a middle name.
Okay, I'm hoping so, because he's doing all right. I was just looking at the results, I hope
someone went off right there.
Points. But Zenkar currently in 3rd. Now, he's been an absolute pleasure to talk to, through the series. Now, we had a couple of opportunities to catch up with him. And sadly, he did actually end up missing one night just as he had to stay at work. Now, if that has cost him the championship, I personally think he should resign in protest and, contest that. But, I do wonder as well, some of these drivers, even if they do just miss out a little bit on that top 3 prize, I'd still give it a go anyway, because then not only that, you get the opportunity to meet some of the people you've raced with. And certainly, if you factor that in mind, you maybe don't want to be giving anybody necessarily a little bit of a cheeky bump. Because if they happen to go to that search session and you happen to be there, it could go full NASCAR meets WWE.
Hopefully they're not on the racetrack testing at the same time, because you might see some of that come out. Hopefully not, because I don't know how durable these cars might be in the real world.
I know Eugene says they're pretty easy to maintain, but he never said anything about how easy they are to fix if things
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid saying that as well.
Here we go. Look, this tactic's being employed again. Look, they've
Keith Stein, Zen Carr, Josh Peters.
Yeah, so they got them boxed in, so they can't make it past that. Keith Stein, yes, you are my tactical driver of the day. Now, I'm going to keep inventing different driver of the day titles for things I see that I approve of. So, Keith Stein, you are the tactical driver of the day.
How about Eugene? Does he get a driver of the day for that restart?
Lucky fluke. Definitely, it was a fantastic start. I wonder if he got a little bit of run up and cheesed it out of that final turn. Maybe everybody else went on green, and I'm not sure. Maybe he went a little early.
I think Eugene was just excited to get going and didn't expect everyone else not to go.
I can't fault him for it anyway, And
Absolutely
at the end of the day, you know, if he wins, you know, he's kind of like, there you go, you got a subsidy. Who's paying him to get a prize in his own car, you know?
Yeah, himself. He's still got to pay the full test day.
Wait, is he married? His wife may approve. There we go. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked with the sense of humor. I'm sorry. Well, I'm semi-sorry about that, you know. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's what you get with me. But Brandon Hawkin out in front. Keith Stein, 2-3 temps behind him. Zenkar, about 8 temps behind him. He's slowly becoming a 2-pack field here. 2-pack, 3-pack field. As Zenkar, Alu Gobi tight with them. Joshua Peters, George Griffiths. Now, George Griffiths, he was rocking it in third. He's down to 6th right now. But Christopher Chung having a little bit of a better race. He's up in 7th. Thankfully, managing to stay out of the hot and bother for this final round.
I mean, for
Keith
Chung,
Stein to take the lead.
yeah, Keith Stein out to the race lead ahead of Brandon Hawkin here. For Christopher Chung's sake, I think anything beats the night he's had so far. He hasn't had the luck whatsoever. He's gotten caught up in a couple of incidents. None of his doing. Oh no, Zenkar!
Not again.
Oh, I don't think there's much Zen in that car anymore. That driver got to be feeling the frustration at this point.
As I look at it, I've got a feeling that the front axle and the rear axle, I've got my suspicions that they are not necessarily parallel, and that one is kind of, yeah, that looks bent. Is it just me, or is that bent?
No, that's a little bent. Now,
okay.
You know what? Let's, just for the sake of it, let's take a comparison to Brandon Hawkin. That's hard to tell.
We need him on the straight. We need him on the straight. What about if we go cockpit view? We'll see you on the straight if it's because if the toe's gone off, we'll see the steering wheel will be not. Oh yeah, she pooched.
Well, at least they still look good in the car.
He's smiling.
Never stop smiling, Zenkar. Never stop smiling as it's Hawkins, Stein, and Gobi out front.
Oh dear.
George Griffiths went landscaping.
I think somebody should have to put like a Hulk helmet on next. That would be pretty.
A Hulk helmet as we got a battle for second. Gobi feeling like a bit of a Hulk here. Going side by side for position number 2.
We could also have a Snickers one. You're not you when you're hungry. You need a Snickers.
I've raced enough people that need a Snickers, that's for sure. I don't know if it's my driving or just them, but Snickers definitely necessary.
We'll have to get you driving the pace car at one of these dirt events, and then that way, at least if you get past, it's legitimate,
So
right?
I always wanted to commentate a race from the flag stand.
Okay, that would be a good view, as long as you could see the track.
Well, it's right above the track, so we'll see.
Right. It's oval, isn't it? Yeah.
It is a dirt oval, so maybe one day.
Ladies and gentlemen who don't know, so our own Mr. Robert Hill Jr., he is actually the commentator at the
Cornwall Motor Speedway.
Thank you very much, Cornwall Motor Speedway, and that is located. Well, Cornwall's really in the middle of nowhere. There's not really much there other than the speedway. There's a college there, which I actually happen to go to a couple of times. But it's about 2 hours from Ottawa, which people will recognize.
45 minutes if you drive at a good pace.
Okay, so we just want to say is if you can do it in 45 minutes, any speeding tickets incurred will not be paid by Podium eSports. That
Yes.
Surely the responsible driver. But right now, Gobi looking to potentially get a speeding ticket as she has taken the lead from Brandon Hawkin, and it looks like Stein is hot in the draft. Is he going to make it round as well as they head into the closing section of the track?
As we come around, it'll be 3 laps to go this time for Alu Gobi, and 3 laps to go in the season as we're getting down to the end of it here. Stein to second, Hawkin in third. He is stalking like a hawk here in position number 3, looking to get that spot on driver's right here. Keith Stein on the left side. Move Hawkin back to second. Behind them, it's Peters and Chung rounding out the top 5 with Meadows, Nagy, Cartini, and I believe that to be the lap car of Kyle Mayer behind them as well, with George Griffiths and Zen Carr off in a world of their own.
Well, we must have given George Griffiths a little bit of a commentator's curse because he was rocking it in third earlier, and he is now back in ninth, way back from the field. So I suspect something must have happened. I know you did say he went and had a little lawn mowing expedition there, but the real question is, can Gobi hold on to that lead position for the end of the race? Now, Brandon Hawkin, I just want to point out, this guy is rocking, let me see here, 7,679 I rating. And just to put that in context, the next highest in the field is actually Zen Car with 3,662. So he's talking about, he's double the IR. And you know what? I'm an okay driver. I'm competent, and I'm rocking mid twos.
And we established this between last round and this one. Brandon Hawkin, as we have Keith Stein going out to the race lead now, Brandon Hawkin is in the top 10 in iRating on road for all of Canada. So Hawkin, a very, very strong driver on the road side of things. Very strong in the ovals as well, Zippy, as he is currently making a run at Road to Pro and is just outside the top 70 cutoff there. So watch for Brandon Hawkin to come on scene in both the road and oval side as we are 2 to go. Doug Meadows and Eugene Cartini have crashed.
Oh dear.
As those drivers take it pit side, Stein, Gobi, Hawkin with about a lap and a half to go.
Oh, they're absolutely going to be keen, but right now they've got to remember, you got to try and keep it in check as much as you want to go for the pass now. Is passing now the right move to do? I mean,
no.
If you're at the head of that train, everybody behind you is going to draft. Now, don't get me wrong, you can hope that they have a little collision with each other, but there's definitely not a tactic that I would gamble on. Look at the closing speed there of Gobi, absolutely hot as they head down into Moss Corner. And are they going to get that move again? No, not quite. I thought it was going to make the pass going in, but you can see Hawkin even closer there to Gobi. So just to put it into context, right now, not even a tenth of a second because he's going for the move, he's going for the pass, and you can see here that draft ahead, he's managed to get it off of Keith Stein, and that is going to help him pass. Gobi just falling a little bit too far back to be able to shut the door on him, but getting a little bit of a draft, and Stein is basically victim to the pair of them as they both go down on the inside, and I suspect Gobi's going to make a move on the left. Are they going to go for it? I'm thinking about it.
I would definitely think about it, and if I'm Keith Stein, I'm not going to go for it yet, Zippy. Brandon Hawkin has been able to take advantage of this draft and work his way into the race lead a couple of times, well, every time in this series. So as they come around, white flag displayed, 1 lap to go, 1 lap left in the season, and it's Brandon Hawkin out front where he's been all year long as he has won every round of the series so far, but Gobi and Stein want to change that.
So the question is, Robert, do you want to have like a coffee bet? Can Gobi get the final race? I'll bet you $2 that they can do it.
I think aggression's going to come into play here, Zippy. We saw it at the end of last race. We're going to see it again here. I think Hawkin may end up finishing this one in the grass.
Okay, so you're agreeing with me. Okay, we can't have a bet if we both agree the same thing. But
I know, but that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I think Gobi's going to do whatever it takes to get one here on Brandon Hawkin as we head for the Andretti straightaway for the final time this season. It's Hawkin and Gobi.
So as we look at the gap now, as they start the Andretti straightaway, Gobi is about 3 tenths back. And I got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Hawkin weaving on the straight, just trying to break the toe. Like, come on, man. Give him a fighting chance. You've already won them all, but you see here, Gobi still, regardless, managed to make a move for it.
Here we go.
The question is, are they going to be able to stay in front? It's definitely going to be tight. Keeping that car as close as possible. Keith Stein, he's hanging back, and you got to be honest, I don't blame him in the slightest, but it's going to put Gobi on the inside for the next corner, but the outside for the final turn.
There's the contact.
Is that going to be contact?
It's
contact.
Oh, who's going to get going? Oh, it's Peters.
Oh. What an ending.
Josh Peters to the win.
We both would have lost.
Wow.
Okay.
Peters, Hawkin, Stein, Gobi, Chung the top 5 in the final race.
We got to get a replay of that. That was incredible. We could see it coming. You called it. You called it. I thought Stein was hanging back enough. I figured he was going to capitalize on it. But let's have a quick look at this again. You can see at the start of the Andretti straight. Yeah, there's Stein ahead. Are we on the right lap?
No.
This is the lap before. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to show you a little bit of a prequel to the final lap incident here. Let's have a quick
There it
look.
is.
There we go. Robert, take it away, sir.
As you can see here, that's Haken on the right side. Gobi up here on the left. Very tight right here. Nearly wheel-to-wheel contact already. Gobi knows what she has to do to get this done here. That's Haken going way off on the right. He's going to cut back to the left. Make some contact here with Gobi. Here comes Keith Stein taking a look on the left side. Had he backed up a little bit further, he would have been the one to clear. They all come together. Josh Peters absolutely licking his chops right now. He's watching this. He nearly drives into it as he's able to clear. And Josh Peters going to be the only driver not named Brandon Haken to win in the series this season.
Oh, man. I imagine Josh Peters right now, he must be bouncing around his rig with so much force. You know, he could be accused of being a Tasmanian devil, but he gets my Jammy Dodger Driver of the Day award.
Absolutely jammy and dodgery out here for Josh Peters. Zippy, let's step away for the final time this season. When we come back, we'll try to catch up with the podium finishers here on Podium Esports.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. What a run we just had to the end there, Zippy.
Oh, honestly, like we're almost wishing we had a longer advert for you guys. We're just absolutely pumped up in the booth tonight. Absolutely fantastic way to close out a season. I mean, this is what it's all about. Close, real racing. And you know what? While crashing isn't fun, if you're going to do it in the sim. You know, we've seen that refined to an art form, but there has been so much action in this series. I mean, it's been a treat to watch. Oh, a treat to commentate as well.
It has absolutely been a treat. And let's go ahead. Let's talk to our third place driver, Keith Stein, after what was a phenomenal evening for him.
Mr. Stein, if you'd like to unmute your microphone, we would happily interview you. Thank you very much.
Oh, hello.
Keith Stein, you came home third tonight, my friend. Congratulations on that. What more did you need there at the end to get up and snag that victory?
Oh, I just needed luck. That's all it was. I saw them coming together on the last corner. I was cheering in my seat, and I realized that I was not going to be able to avoid the crash.
That was definitely a monstrous crash there, Keith. That was wild. What did you see from your driver's seat?
Yeah, Brandon and Al, they just came together. They got tied up in each other's wheels, and I could kind of see it coming because we were pushing so hard that last couple of laps. And yeah, I should have backed off, but in the moment you don't, and I couldn't avoid it. And I had to watch Josh roll on by. So
yeah, unfortunately for you, Peters did go on by, but you still came home with a solid podium finish. And, I think that's still a very solid way to end the series for you. But from your driver's seat, from your view, how did the season go as a whole for you? And what's your thoughts on this Canadian F1200 series?
Yeah, you know what? It was super fun. I've always loved the Formula V, even though it wasn't a car that, me or the team that I'm on spend much time in. It's just a super fun car to drive. It doesn't seem as stressful in the moment as like a GT car. And the first race didn't go very well for me. Got murdered a couple times. And then I kind of hung out in the middle of the pack. Last go around wasn't great. And then I honestly don't know what happened this time. I think it was just getting in a good groove and being very lucky to basically have Brandon kind of pull me around and some of the faster guys and just stay in the draft and a little bit of luck. And yeah, turned out really well.
Sometimes luck is all you need. And tonight, you had a great night anyways. You finished fourth, you finished third. You had a couple great solid finishes there. And looking ahead, maybe could we see you at the test day for this F1200 series?
I think you probably will. I'm trying to make it happen. So I really think I'll be out there.
Well, we definitely hope to see it for you. Congratulations, Keith, on a solid run tonight. Before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank for supporting you all season long?
Yeah, just a massive shout out to my teammate Joe. We get to practice a lot as a team, and the guys at Rockefeller Racing are all pretty awesome. And obviously to you guys for broadcasting and Eugene for setting everything up. This was really great. It was a really awesome experience. And I have to say your broadcast is top notch here, guys. It's really good. It's super fun to come back and watch everything afterwards. So you do a great job.
We definitely appreciate that, Keith, and best of luck to you. We hope to see you at the test day coming up just over a month from now at Toronto Motorsport Park.
Yeah, thanks so much. Take care, guys.
You as well. Zippy, that was Keith Stein, your third place finisher here tonight. And I believe you may have just caught up with our race winner, Joshua Peters.
Josh, can I get a check?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, it is absolutely fantastic to have you in the booth. If I look at race one, you went from first to third, and then from third to fourth in race two. And then obviously the one we're all talking about and absolutely just shaking in our little seats, fourth to first in the final race with, honestly, sir, you need to buy a lottery ticket having luck like that at the end. Tell us a little bit about it from your point of view.
Yeah, I was just, looking to be consistent in those three races because I knew, I didn't have to finish first or second. I just had to be there all three races. So that's what I did. But, that last race there, I thought it was over because they were kind of just battling up there. They had maybe 2 seconds on me. But I could see they were wheel to wheel. I mean, pretty much every race was wheel to wheel. So I thought, maybe I'd have a chance there at the end. And sure enough, I saw some smoke. I saw some cars jump over each other and kind of just drove to the win there.
It was an absolutely fantastic drive. I mean, tell us a little bit as well, did you have any, it sounds like you had a clear plan, and you know what? It was a great plan. It's certainly one that, I was thinking exactly the same thing going in, you just need to try and keep it clean, and you did a fantastic job of that. But, going in, is there any, particular people you were keeping a keen eye for, anybody who was an immediate threat, as it were?
I mean, George has always been there every race. Kyle as well. Brandon just is an absolute alien. guy just wins every race, no matter where he starts. But yeah, no, I was kind of just keeping an eye on who was close in the standings. But for the most part, I finished, third, fourth, and first. So, I was just looking for consistent finishes, but the first place is it's awesome.
It's definitely the best way to finish a series. But Joshua, is there anybody you want to thank while you're here?
Yeah, Podium eSports for hosting the event, Eugene as well. Everybody here for participating and being a good sport. This last series here has been the most competitive, so it's been a blast. And thanks you guys for doing a great job broadcasting.
Well, honestly, if we keep hearing this from the lovely people who give us such fine racing to watch, then I'll be grateful that we don't have the cameras on, because you guys are going to make me blush. But ladies and gentlemen, that was Joshua Peters, your final race winner at the F1200 Championship Series.
As you said, Zippy, that was the winner here tonight. But now let's go ahead and bring in both the champion and the Eugene to talk to us about this one. Eugene and Brandon, welcome up to the booth here. Brandon, let us be the first to say, from the booth side at least, congratulations on the championship.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, man. Well, what a season that was, and a final race to cap it all off. That was a really great battle there to finish the season, man. Man, I'm so happy to be able to do this, and thank you so much, Eugene, and the F1200 Association, and everybody involved in making this series happen. This is really cool, man. You get the race with some awesome drivers, and then be able to take it to the real world. It's gonna be awesome. So I'm stoked right now. This is awesome.
We're definitely excited for you. Can't wait to see what you can do in the test day. Just over a month away for you there at Toronto Motorsport Park. But overall, obviously a very successful season for you here. What's next for you? Where can we find you on this iRacing service dominating races once again?
Oh, I'll have to think about it. There's a few. The last couple of months, I've just been like race after race after race. I keep signing up for stuff, and I'm like, oh, that'll be fun. Oh, that'll be fun, And then I have like a whole week's worth of racing every week. But I believe. I'm in the Racing Prodigy MX5 stuff, so that be coming up soon on Race Room, and they're doing the iRacing series on there as well. There's a Toyota GR86 series coming up, and Road to Pro. We've been doing that with Nexus, and just a whole bunch of stuff. I could probably think of a few others, but man, yeah, just been really busy racing recently, and this is definitely one of the highlights. It's been so much fun, and this car and track combos. It's put on some really awesome racing. So yeah, I'm kind of sad it's over, but I'm happy how it turned out, and I can't wait to do another one if we're gonna do it, because man, yeah, the race was just fantastic so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We know what you meant there, but
Yeah.
I'm going to bring Zippy in here, see what he's got for you, and then we'll bring Eugene in as well to talk about your season and what's on the horizon for you.
Well, I'm absolutely thrilled for you. Don't get me wrong, I was kind of cheering for someone else just to try and take the win off you. I mean, you had this thing slam dunked in the bag, and consistency was definitely key. Think about the amount of drivers who got in incidents, and it's almost like you were surrounded like this F1200 shaped shield around you. So just for the people at home as well, what was your preparation for this? What was your mindset as well, going in, the race car? Tell us a little bit about how you achieved this success.
So yeah, I've done a lot of MX5 racing. I think one of the first leagues I joined was an MX5 league, and I got to learn the whole draft train style of racing. Yeah, I found on the last lap, you don't always want to be the leader, but it definitely helps to be up there if you can for most of the race, because yeah, if you're in the lead, there's not really much that can happen to you unless you get hit from behind or anything. So yeah, mid-pack's definitely the danger zone, and so yeah, that was kind of my mindset going in. It was just I wanted to stay out in front as much as I could, and stay out of all the trouble, and then race it out towards the end. So yeah, I tried to qualify as well as I could. Other than tonight, I tried doing the back to first challenge there for fun. But the whole season just trying to get a good qualifying position, and then and then just try and keep the lead as much as I could, as long as it wasn't slowing us down. And it seemed to work out. So man, I just just like to thank everybody showed up. We had some like fantastic racing, and especially that final race that'll be one to remember. That was a really cool three-way battle there between Alu, me, and Keith there, and just just really happy. So I'd like to thank everybody, and fantastic racing all throughout.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Hawkin, that is your F1200 champion. I'm wondering at this point, if any of the Formula One grid is watching this. This gentleman obviously knows how to win races. I do understand there's going to be an open seat at Mercedes, and I'm pretty sure Brandon will be available to meetings, obviously. I've not officially accepted the management position. I'll do it for a sensible percentage. I'm thinking like 25%, maybe 30% for him. And we'll cut Eugene in, Robert. But let's speaking of Eugene, tell us a little bit as well. Obviously, we got the big grand prize going on. Tell us how you're feeling about the whole season. Just wrap it all up for us, and try and bounce off a little bit with Brandon. Give us a little bit of a brief of like how it's going to be getting in the car, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. First off, congrats, Brandon. Great season. I'm glad everything went well for you. I had a ball all season. Tonight was great. Now it's, now we know who's going to be in there on the test day. So it's, I got to get everything buttoned up, have the car ready in just over a month. But yeah, congrats, Brandon. And, I'm pretty happy with the way that, you drove the season. So hopefully that, calm, steady, no spins kind of deal happens with my car as well. But no, it's going to be great. You earned it. Definitely some great drives. I watched that replay. You had it locked down, man. Just one more corner to go, and you would have had the perfect sweep. But that's the way it goes.
Thanks, Eugene. Man, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully, we keep it clean, just like for most of the season. And
exactly.
I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be awesome. So thank you so much.
Yeah, so I'll definitely reach out to you. I'll do the math for the rest of the grid, and we'll see who can join us, who'd like to come watch that kind of stuff on April the 27th at Toronto Motorsports Park.
Thank you very much, Eugene Cartini, for putting on the series along with the F1200 Drivers Association. Congratulations to you, Brandon, our champion, and we look forward to following that test day just over a month from now.
Yeah, once again, thank you, everybody, and everybody who's making their way down there, I'll see you there. And man, I'm really excited. So yeah, fantastic season, everybody, and thank you.
Another thought to add to that. We was kind of joking around in the booth a little bit earlier. Some people, they have had some like pretty aggressive moves potentially, and generally as well, watching you, you're pretty clean throughout. So anybody who is going to test day, I don't think anybody's going to get in a scrap. So this is good news. It's good to be a winner and be in that scenario.
Eugene's happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little bit of a giggle there, but no, it was a fantastic season. Well done, and we look forward to seeing not only your driving career progress, but your iRacing career as well as you take on the road to pro. Well done.
Thanks again, Daniel or Zippy, sorry, and Robert, everybody at Podium. It's been a pleasure all season, and we'll see you guys around.
There you have it. That's our champion, Brandon Hawkin, winner once again here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Twice tonight, Zippy. Didn't have the clean sweep, but that is just about going to do it for us here in the series, Zippy. It has been a phenomenal time. 4 rounds, 3 sprint races per round, and a very deserving champion in Brandon Hawkin going to work his way over to Toronto Motorsports Park on April 27th. Going to get behind the wheel of Eugene's Formula 1200 car. Can't wait to see that. And folks, that's it for us. On behalf of Daniel Zippy Salmon, on behalf of Ryan Bauer and everyone at Podium Esports, Eugene Cartini and the F1200 Drivers Association, my name is Robert Hill Jr. Thank you for joining us all season long, and we'll see you next time. Have a good night, everybody.